Hey y'all, to my returning viewers, and what's up, new folks? If you don't know, I'm Erica Vane, a creative entrepreneur from Baltimore, Maryland, living in Los Angeles, California. And on this channel, I create content to share my journey in the hopes of helping you along on yours. How can I help? Well, on this channel, I give you advice, how-to, and resources, and actually more, to support your creative entrepreneurship journey and you building a life you love. I also love to answer questions, so be sure to follow me on social media at Erica Vane. And you can always post a comment in the comment section below. In today's video, we are taking a step back into the world of screenwriting and talking about how to support the honing of your craft with a writer's group. If you haven't seen it yet, I started a series focusing on screenwriting specifically, the resources, advice, and a look into the life of a new and up-and-coming screenwriter. So you can check that out by clicking the card up above, and I have linked the entire playlist. And I did this because I was looking for resources to help me. I am new to screenwriting. I've only been doing it for a few years. I didn't go to film school, and I find it hella hard to find people who look like me, breaking down scripts, supporting creatives that are actually making the type of films and television that I love. So you can expect that on this channel too. I have yet to be able to find a Mara Kill script breakdown video for any of her amazing work. Stay tuned, because that's one of the ones that's on the top of my list. And when in doubt, you can't find it, go ahead and make it yourself. So that's why I'm talking about all of this screenwriting right now. And now that that's out the way, let's get back to talking about working with a writer's group as a screenwriter. This is the easier way to get into the swing of things, of being in a writer's group, getting feedback, and supporting other writers and being supported. Find an already established writer's group and join it. If you leave with value, as in the type of supportive, creative collaborator you are, your work, and how that can benefit those other people in the group, then it's a no-brainer that you'll be able to gain access to a great writer's group. Now, if you come to the table with just wanting to take and not give, it might be a long road, sis, but I digress. If you can't find a group to join, then you can always create one. It's so cool because as I was drafting this overview for the video, I came across a post on this Facebook group that I'm in called Black Screenwriters. I'll also post a link to that group down in the description box below if you want to check it out. But the group itself is a phenomenal resource for screenwriters on Facebook, and a member literally asked, are there any screenwriting groups that meet virtually on a regular basis to write? And when I came across it, it was 74 comments on that, and people were inviting her to join their groups or to start a new group with her. And that's what it's all about. There are people and resources out there, but a closed mouth don't get fed, honey. My second writers group is one that I created and got super specific about when I went about creating it. I know the stories that I want to write, and I thought about blind spots I was experiencing within my first writers group. My second writers group is made up of Black women over the age of 30. I'm in another group with some men that meet less frequently, but my second writers group is the one that's very, very important to me, and especially to get feedback from, because those women represent my target audience for the stories that I'm writing. Women who could potentially relate to my protagonists. That is what is so great about creating a group. You can tailor it to what you need, from the types of material you write, how often you meet, when you meet, the rules and guidelines for feedback and support. With my second writers group, I've been able to really craft an experience that's helping me as a screenwriter and a creative. If you want help connecting with other like-minded screenwriters, then sign up for the screenwriters email on createhercollective.com. Link is in the description box below. Be clear about your expectations and make sure your members of your group are aligned with those expectations. Writers groups are for feedback and accountability, and if you can't hold each other accountable, then why do it? Go into your writers group with clear goals for yourself and your work. This is the singular thing that will secure that your time spent with any other screenwriters is a successful and enriching experience. Are you trying to become stronger with story? Do you want to finalize your pilot so that you can move on to shopping it? Do you need a specific feedback for a specific part of your script or your writing style? Think about what you need going in so that you can clearly articulate that. People can only help you with what they know you need help with. Make sure your group has a clear and fair schedule. One group I was in had one writer each week in which everyone got a meeting and we were able to discuss their work in that meeting. We met for like 2 hours, and every week we just went into rotation and we spent those 2 hours focusing on one person and their one script. My current most active writing group meets every week, but we do 2 writers a week and meet for 2 hours. We submit notes the day before the meeting so that the writers have time to review and think out questions regarding the feedback. We have this schedule on rotation because we want to prioritize pushing out drafts and not just letting many weeks go by in between drafts. We have 6 people in our group, so that means that every 3 weeks your work is up for review. And every 3 weeks, you better have something new. And it doesn't mean a new script. It could be a new draft. It could be updates, something like that. It's so easy for writers to get stuck and not move forward. But if you want to get staffed, sell your work, or simply get better, you have to keep writing. This part is probably the easier part of the whole writers group process, actually having the meetings. I'm filming this when we are coming up on a year of the global COVID-19 pandemic. So most people are still not meeting in person, and that's fine because Zoom, Google Meet, and Skype work just fine for writers groups. Hell, even your favorite shows' writers rooms are meeting on Zoom. So it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you too. This is just when you and your group members set aside time to get on a call and discuss the work, discuss the notes, discuss what you need. It's great because while my group gives written notes, during the meeting, we are able to ask questions to gain further clarity and dive into pitches and ways to fix issues within the scripts. The meat and potatoes of your writers group will be the constructive criticism. You gotta provide constructive criticism for your writers group to work. Give feedback on overall story, structure, A story, B story, C story, act outs, character development, tone, grammar, spelling, specific things that will help the script be better. Y'all can step it up and do script coverage like a professional reader. There are tons of examples for script coverage online, so you can Google that and decide if y'all want to do that. My group doesn't use script coverage worksheets or anything like that similar to the professional readers because some of those are more nondescript and focused on specifically if the script is sellable versus how is the story and what actually works. My group types out its notes. I like to write mine out on the writer's script in the area that I'm actually referencing on the script so that it's clear. And I just try to make my notes as relevant, easy to read, and helpful as possible. Your writers group success is your success. Who knows? The people in your writers group today could also be the people staffing or in your television writers room tomorrow. So share your resources. My groups share a group me that we use for daily communication, checking in on one another, and sharing major news or opportunities. We also have a shared Google Drive that we use to hold worksheets, PDFs, videos, and more resources specifically for improving our writing. We add to that weekly as members request additional support or ideas or things for specific areas of focus. Being in a writer's group is so much more than getting feedback on your work and resources from others. It's also about the feedback you give. One thing that I picked up as I spent more time in groups was to ask for feedback on my feedback. What does that mean? Yeah, it sounds a bit like Inception, but it basically means to ask writers who I provided feedback to, was my feedback helpful or in line with what they were looking for? With the feedback that I provide, I try to stay focused on the story the writer tells me they are trying to tell and not give feedback from the perspective of the story that I think that they should tell. And to do that, I have to talk to them about their story, about the feedback, and make adjustments where necessary. Speaking of my feedback style, please don't be that screenwriting. Tell people what story you think that they should tell with their characters and their idea. They're writing their story, not you. You are there to double check structure, grammar, spelling, tone, communicate beats you caught and missed, discuss flow, and actually help the writer understand if the story that they have on the page is lined up with the story they are telling you they want to tell. Your job is not to change their story. Well, those are my thoughts, advice, and 2 cents on working with the writers group as a screenwriter. I actually have a few group member scripts to go and read right now, so I gotta go because we got a meeting coming up this week. If you like the content that I shared in today's video, stick around, hit the subscribe button. There is so much more coming down the line, I promise you. Also, if you are still watching, thank you, hey. But go ahead and give this video a like. I mean, you stayed to the end of the video, so you had to like it, right? I thank you all so much for watching. Again, I'm Erica Vane. You can follow me on social media at Erica Vane. If you're looking for more screenwriting content, go ahead and watch my video on submitting to screenwriting fellowships. The 2020 PDF, the full list and breakdown is in the description box below. We've also tagged the beautiful screenwriting playlist here, all of which is free 99. So go ahead and get that. Take what you need. Take what you need. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.